Good evening, everyone, and welcome live from Calvary Christian School as the Knights and the Vikings are going to be playing for a middle school championship. Rick Behringer alongside my partner in crime, Richard Holdridge. We got a good one here today, Rich.
Middle school championship in the private sector here in Columbus, and I tell you, I'm excited about these two schools because we've heard nothing but great things about future varsity players on Pacelli and Calvary that could be coming up. And this Calvary Christian Knights middle school team, they're undefeated. They look fantastic, and they're battling against a Pacelli middle school team, which has been, they only have one loss, but they've had a lot of success as well.
And let's talk about that Pacelli team first. Led by first-year head coach Chris Smith, longtime community coach around the area, done a fantastic job taking over this program. And apparently, if you're the middle school coach for Pacelli, you end up becoming a high school head coach. Bruce Figgins last year, who's at Chatco.
Right.
The year before that, Emmanuel Brunson, who is now at Calvary. So we'll see what happens with Chris Smith, but he's got a great program, and his program, like you said, only lost this year was to Calvary earlier in the season. Now for Calvary Christian, they have been the talk of the middle school football area. I mean, I know Muscogee County just got started, but you made mention in the private sector, St. Luke, Brookstone, Pacelli, and Calvary decided, you know what, since we don't get to play for the Muscogee County City Championship because they're not a public school, why don't we come up with our own championship? And now we had the semifinals last week. Pacelli beat St. Luke, and Calvary beat Brookstone, and now they're in the championship game. Coach Michael Grant, you've heard of that name. He was a legendary player at Shaw, played in the NFL. He's also a pastor, and he's been involved with the Calvary Christian Knights program for quite some time. And he's got this middle school group that is extremely talented on the precipice of a championship.
Absolutely, and this place is packed. We've got plenty of fans on both sides, Pacelli and Calvary. We've got Coach Emmanuel Brunson of the Calvary Varsity Knights team on the sidelines for support. And, of course, the athletic director, Coach Steve Smith, has always been hospitable to us, just allowing us to be up in this press box, which is the first year of the press box. Toygar, our producer, we've got our section. I mean, this is great. This is the first year of this press box, and it's state-of-the-art.
Yeah, I told athletic director Steve Smith, who I love dearly, get us a press box, please. That's what we beg. We need it. Last year, we called the state championship game in the stands, and we had about 15 feet. But listen, the fans were great. They allowed us to be able to sit there and broadcast. But this very incredible facility that they created here in the press box is, and they're still renovating. They're still not done with the project, but we're glad to be up here. And we are moments away from both teams running out the tunnel. And here come the Pacelli Vikings as they run onto the field. Calvary Christian has their fan base ready to run out of the tunnel. The varsity team finished up their season. They had a tough one this year, but we talked with Coach Brunson. He believes in the future specifically because of how good this middle school team has been. So we're looking forward to it as Michael Grant, the head coach, walking out on the field to meet with the referees along with Chris Smith. Both these guys, incredible men that have given a lot to young athletes in our community, and it's awesome to see these two guys now going to be competing against each other for a championship.
Yeah, two outstanding coaches that know how to develop players to get them to play at the next level. And as Calvary gets ready to come out of their banner, we'll be set to go, and we're going to have an 8-minute quarters here in middle school football. I do want to mention, what a shout-out, a great performance by the national anthem of the basketball coach for Calvary.
Did you not know he could sing?
Oh, he's got some pipes.
And he will show them off whenever he can. He is not shy about him being able to sing, and it bothers me to no end. As one of my long dear friends for quite some time.
Very talented.
Known him
Great
literally
singer.
my whole life, and there is not a time ever in which he will not show off his vocal cords. But he did a great job, Richard, as you made mention. I say that in jest. And I want to say shout out to Toygar Isla. We are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Pepsi, Gordy Eye Care. By the way, CVCC, we're home for all their athletics. They got Pirate Madness this Thursday at 6 o'clock. We're going to be there live to do a show. Looking forward to, they're going to introduce the baseball and softball teams, both basketball teams, and there's going to be a dunk contest and several other things. So we look forward to bringing in the sports calendar year for CVCC. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're about to play middle school private championship football here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
GMC SUVs, GMC SUVs. On sale now at Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika. The GMC Terrain, the compact SUV with seating for 5. And now discounted up to $6,500 off. The full-size GMC Yukons, discounted up to $9,000 off. Choose from almost 200 new GMCs. Get your best price every day on the lot or online at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown! Woo! Mountain Dew!
My name is Quintia Perry, and
let's go Knights! And special thank you to Crazy Dave Fireworks for supplying that for us tonight. We sure appreciate you. Now, our captains are going to be meeting in midfield. Looks like Pacelli won the toss, and they have deferred. Calvary Knights will be receiving the kickoff.
And we're back here live
as we get ready to get started.
Calvary Christian Field.
Nick Williams Field.
Pacelli lines up to kick it off.
That's what they call
the Calvary Knights will be receiving the kick.
As Calvary will receive the football, and the Knights and Vikings in the Chattahoochee Valley Private School Middle School Championship is about to be underway. Everyone has talked about this matchup. Everybody's been wanting to see the Calvary Christian Knights and Vikings on prime time. We got it for them here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. By the way, Northside Softball is playing right now on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. In the Sweet 16, they won their first game. They win the second one. They're heading to the Elite Eight. Let's stop all the talk. Let's tee it up.
Let's go Knights.
And without further ado, time for some championship football here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Small short kick that's going to be picked up at about the 34-yard line. And here come the Calvary Christian Knights. And let's talk about Calvary Christian, Richard. And they got some elite players on their team. That includes the quarterback, Sebastian Hurd, who's one of the top players in the entire country.
I can't wait to see his skill set.
They said his ability to throw it all over the field, Richard, is impeccable.
And Calvary gets ready to take over first and 10.
He's bigger than everybody else.
Wow. I mean, we're talking about a special quarterback that's
Hurd
going
in
to
the
be
shotgun,
making an impact once he gets to high school.
Taking the snap is Hurd. Hurd, the left-hander, looking.
Rolls left.
And now he's going to take off and run with it and kind of makes a little bit of a move to the outside, and that is going to be a positive gain for Sebastian Hurd. You already seen the playmaking ability for number 12.
Yeah, he's not afraid to scramble. I mean, he looks like he wants to throw from the pocket. But if Chelly puts the pressure on him, he will scramble and take off.
Hurd takes the snap. On second and short. Now they're coming after him. He's going to have to run again. No, he's going to throw it up, and there's a man open, and he catches it for a first down. Nice throw. King Hinton was the one that received it, and that's a first down for Calvary. How about the time there for Sebastian Hurd, Richard?
Great timing by Hurd when he was feeling the pressure. He rolls to his right, little bit off balance. He had to get rid of the football quick because he was getting ready to get sacked. And what a catch. And puts Calvary up in great field position.
Operating out of the spread, Dontarius Taylor in the backfield. Hurd, it keeps it, and still on his feet. He can't bring him down, and now there he goes, pushing the pile, and there's actually a flag on the play. Big time gain there for Sebastian Hurd as he moved the pile. We'll see what the penalty's on there, Richard.
Yeah, he is just a physical specimen. I mean, if he doesn't see anything open, he's just going to take off. And it's hard for those Pacelli defenders to bring him down.
The Vikings add some yards at the end of the play.
I'm curious to see what grade Hurd is, to see if he would be eligible to play varsity next year. Because he looks like he is just ready to play.
First down.
First and goal.
First and goal now for Calvary Christian. 3 plays, and they're already goal to go situation. Hurd, empty backfield, is going to take off and run again. Hurd runs to a tackler and then just walks in. The ball pops out. And let's see if they're going to call a touchdown. And that is a touchdown for Calvary. Calvary goes the length of the field, scores a touchdown, and that was all Sebastian Hurd, Richard.
It wouldn't have mattered because the ball broke the plane, but Calvary strikes first, getting on the board. And that didn't take long. That only took a minute. But Hurd doing what he did, especially the big play, breaking out of tackles. I mean, if he does that all day, I think Pacelli's defense is going to have to try to make some adjustments.
We're going to take a break. I want you to know they're going to go for 2. We'll see what the discussion is. Coach Chris Smith discussing with the White Hat right now.
By the way, Thrift, we do have a tri-match for flag football from Muskogee County tomorrow. Columbus, Shaw, and Carver at Otis Spencer Stadium.
Looks like Calvary will line up.
And they're actually now going to go for 2, Richard. Jakari Harris, and Harris is going to just go in almost untouched. And you're seeing why there was a lot of buzz for this Calvary Christian middle school football program as they score in 4 plays. We'll take a break. It's the Chattahoochee Valley Private Middle School Championship here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And we're back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Calvary Christian goes the length of the field. A bomb to King Hinton from Sebastian Hurd, and then he does the rest with his legs. And it's 8-0 as they get the 2-point conversion on a Jakari Harris run. kick will be returnable 30, 35, 40 before he's finally brought down. Daniel Third heel gets a nice return and decent field position for the Vikings, who are led by Chris Smith. Also on the coaching staff, Bridge Pepper, Ross Seidel, Ortavius White, Jesse Arnold, and Sean Zeitzer makes out the staff.
By the way, Columbus softball dropped game 1 to Stevens County 8-3 earlier today. I was actually over there watching the Columbus volleyball and softball team right at the same time.
So now we're going to see the Pacelli Vikings. And at quarterback is Zayden Boogie Smith, who takes a high snap, is going to hand it off to Chris Harris. Chris Harris gets nothing. And tackle for loss there by Calvary Christian. Devin Watts was one of them, and Griffin Snow. Second down and long after the loss of yardage by Chris Harris, the running back. Boogie Smith. Man in motion is Adonis Wilson. Smith takes the snap, hand it off, and nope, it's going to be a little reverse play, and nobody bid on it, as that was Braylon Toney. Another loss of 3 or 4 yards, set up third down and long for the Pacelli Vikings.
Good play by Toney, and now Pacelli going to have to try to get something, maybe get the passing game going. This Calvary defense could play on their heels, kind of keep their 2 safeties back at that first down marker, make sure keep everything in front of them on this long third down play for Pacelli.
See what Boogie Smith can do. In the backfield is Adonis Wilson. Chris Harris, man in motion, is going to get it on the jet sweep, and he gets tackled for a loss. 3 straight plays that end up in lost yardage, and it's going to be punting situation probably for the Vikings here.
Very conservative play call on 3rd and long. It forces Pacelli to punt the football.
I say that, but it looks like unless Boogie Smith is also the punter.
You got Jakari Harris back there waiting to accept his punt. And I tell you what, he looks like he's ready to play at the varsity level. He's got some size on him.
And Boogie Smith is going to punt it, and it's partially blocked. And it's bouncing, and it's
That's a live ball.
Yep, it hit a Pacelli Viking. I thought that hit a Calvary Knight, but it didn't. It actually hit a Pacelli Viking. So it'll be down inside the 50 heading, and it'll be great field position for Sebastian Hurd and the Calvary Christian Knights.
Yeah, great field position for Calvary. Second possession on offense, already up 8-0. Let's see if Calvary could just open up the playbook here. Coach Grant maybe calling something for Hurd. I like to see him just comfortable in the pocket. I would like to see him to throw the football, but you know, he's a playmaker. He's out there to make sure to get plenty of yardage. We got trips to that far side.
Hurd's going to take the snap. No, he's going to hand it off, and there's a huge hole, and there he's taken off. Great run there for Dontarius Taylor, and great blocking from Calvary Christian.
Yeah, just a little RPO action. Had some blockers out in front, and Dontarius Taylor gives Calvary a first down.
I was told from the PA announcer he's also called DT, so we'll call him DT. If Mama calls him DT, I'm going to call him DT.
Call him DT. I love how these student athletes, they got their nicknames.
We got Boogie Smith, the quarterback. We got Daniel Third Heel. Also, Anthony Tate Poole. There's at least 3 names here on this Pacelli Vikings roster that has nicknames.
I wonder why he's nicknamed Tate. Is that from the old commercials, Terry Tate, office linebacker? Boy, nobody got that reference.
No.
That might have been before your time.
Richard, I don't know if you're playing the age thing as to your advantage right now, but great joke.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can hear Richard Holger's stand-up comedic hour at the Loft every Friday night. So make sure we go out there and listen to Richard Holger's dad jokes. Only on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Yeah, I'll represent Georgia Alabama Sports Live any way I can.
So there was a penalty on the play. It was holding.
Backing them up, yeah.
But they're going to redo first down.
Looks like we're going to redo first down here.
That was a personal foul after the play. So on to Calvary Christian. They got the first down. They had to back them up 15 yards. Sebastian Hurd is going to take the snap, and he's going to keep it, and he's going to make a man miss. And there goes Sebastian Hurd with the long legs. Makes another juke move, and there goes number 12 all the way down inside the goal line. What a move from number 12.
He's hard to stop.
You're seeing why he has the hype, and you're seeing why he's nationally ranked as a player, making moves like that.
I'm telling you, it's like the equivalent of a linebacker playing quarterback. I mean, he is very hard. I'm going to go a step further. A defensive lineman that's playing quarterback. He's got the physical physique of that type of player.
And there's going to be a jet sweep, and he's going to go all the way in for another Calvary touchdown. Jakari Harris.
What speed on the jet sweep.
And that was just all Calvary making easy work on these first two drives, and they're already up 14-0.
Great play call. It really started with the long run by Sebastian Hurd. But Calvary has gotten into a rhythm so far in this game. Their first two drives, 2 touchdowns. The defense playing lights out too. Calvary's in good position here.
And they're going to blow the whistle before the extra point.
By the way, a score update. Columbus Volleyball is in the quarterfinals. They won the first set 25-17 over Coachella Hills.
But we'll have to back it up and try them.
Because right now, Columbus Softball and Columbus Volleyball going on at the same time at Columbus High School. I think that game 2 of Northside Cartersville is underway. Northside wins the first game. Noah Shelton on the call.
Calvary brings Hurd
Georgia
back
Alabama
in.
Sports Live.
Shotgun. Looks like we're going to go for 2.
So they're going to go for 2 now after the penalty. Hurd with DT in the backfield. He's looking, he's firing, he's got a man open, and caught. No, they're going to say he did not get in the end. But Calvary Christian off of Sebastian Hurd's legs. Jakari Harris finishes it up with a touchdown. They lead 14-0. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this.
I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the Ambassador Scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university.
Let's go! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Football time! Set the tone. Kyle, tie your shoes, tie your shoes. Yeah, good job. Woo! Yeah!
Grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet is loaded with over 500 new and used on the lot and on the way. Check out the big Chevy Silverado 2500 HDs, discounted up to $9,000 off. And you'll love the stylish SUV that has plenty of room for the whole family. Chevy Tahoe's up to $9,000 off. Come to Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika for big discounts with a fantastic selection. Or explore anytime, anywhere at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
Georgia Alabama Sports Live. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns for Calvary Christian. They lead 14-0 in the Chattahoochee Valley, first ever Chattahoochee Valley private middle school. We'll get it right, Richard. Championship. Coach Michael Grant, Coach Chris Smith, battling against each other.
So, Thread, do they play the public schools in the regular season?
They do not. Public schools just got started, and none of these teams were able to face any of the public schools.
I would love to see that someday.
Aaron Cone, I heard, is the best teams.
Aaron Cone and Calvary.
If Aaron Cone wins Muskogee County, let's set it up. Boy, even broadcast
Dr. Lawrence, you're
Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Is that
Z
kick
back
is
skip
going
is
to
up. Bounces
the back
to the 35.
is going to
There's
be
Corral
down
on the
as
Vikings, and they'll take over
Daniel,
first and 10 on the
third
35-yard
kill.
line.
And Pacelli's going to take over. That first possession, Richard, nothing went right. Pacelli went backwards in all 3 plays.
Yeah.
What are things they need to do here to be able to move the football in this talented and dominant Calvary defense?
They might have to dial up some trick plays because that D-line for Calvary is just smothering. The safeties are playing very aggressive. I mean, they've just got all phases of their defense playing lights out, and Pacelli is gonna have to do something. They gotta They gotta get the line play to open up holes to run the football, but it hasn't worked. Let's see the quarterback's arm. I'd like to see maybe some jet sweeps, some bubble screens.
Boogie Smith will take and hand it off. Bouncing it to the outside, and again, not able to even get to the original line of scrimmage is Chris Harris. I feel like there's too much team speed for this Calvary.
Too much.
But there's too much beef up front. Options are you're going to have to start doing some trickery if you're Pacelli and Coach Chris Smith.
Those linebackers are moving sideline to sideline. It's hard to catch up and try to outrun them. You could try to outflank them, but this Calvary defense, it's like they have figured out what Pacelli wants to do.
And Smith looking, he's going to throw it and almost intercepted.
Almost picked off by number 4, King Hinton.
And King Hinton was out there on the coverage, Richard.
Yeah, Jakari Harris almost picked it off. Harris has some speed back at that strong safety position. And now it's going to be another tough play for Pacelli to try to overcome on this 3rd down conversion. They're faced with another 3rd and long.
3rd down and 10 for Boogie Smith. He's going to do a tall sweep, and that is going to be gobbled up and immediately taken down. And Tony Blake was the first Calvary Christian Knight to get in on the tackle, and another 4th down and long for the middle school team from Pacelli.
By the way, speaking of Pacelli, the Pacelli girls flag football team is playing Central right now at Garrett Harrison Stadium. I was on the call for Pacelli Harris County yesterday. They won. Toygar was there too, and it's 12-0. Michaela Hosley with a touchdown reception, 2 interceptions. A lot of fun, Thrift. Like they play 80 yards and they only go to the far hash mark of the football field.
As Boogie Smith, high snap, getting it blocked again.
Second block.
And that one's going to have to be downed, and great field position as Calvary will start at the Pacelli 41-yard line.
Again, great field position for Calvary.
We are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC.
Get ready to smile.
Also Pepsi and Buffalo Rock. Throw me a Pepsi right now, Richard.
Oh, here you go.
Thanks, man. I'm dying of thirst. And listen, the only lemon lime soda Toygar drinks is Starry. So
the best lemon lime soda around.
And if you ain't doing the dew, what are you doing? Mountain Dew as well. So thank you to Buffalo Rock for their sponsorship.
Like Ricky Bobby's kid says, I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
There we go. Richard, you're always jacked up on Mountain Dew every time you do a broadcast, man.
That's right.
As Calvary's going to take the football over. We also want to say thank you to Gordy Eye Care, the official eye care of GAS Live. Sebastian Hurst takes it, and he throws a beautiful
Look at
football, and it is caught for a touchdown.
Oh!
How about the arm from Sebastian Hurst?
Jakari Harris, pitch and catch.
Oh, my goodness.
This
Hurd
off the
with an
charts.
incredible, look at the replay. Sebastian Hurd, plenty of time, and throws a dime right on the money as
I'm sorry, I just got flashbacks.
Jakari Harris runs in for a touchdown.
Georgia fans are going to hate me for this. 2nd and 26, Tua to Devonta Smith.
This could be the Tua Devonta Smith for
I
Calvary.
saw that. I was thinking, same play, same exact play.
And third possession that equals a touchdown for Calvary Christian. And if you don't know, but now you should know, Sebastian Hurd is one of the top 8th graders, not just in our area, Richard, as the extra point
After a long touchdown pass there.
I think
is no good, and it's 20-0. Sebastian Hurd is one of the top players in the country. As an 8th grader, to make moves like that with his legs and throw a 40-yard bomb, the future is bright for number 12 in green and black.
You're telling me next year he's going to play possibly on the varsity as a freshman?
I think Coach Brunson's salivating at the thought of that.
I know. I talked to Coach Brunson before this game. I know he's here to support the Calvary Middle School team, but I know he's got to be chomping at the bit. Like, this is exciting. I can't wait. You know, Thrift, I mean, we've featured middle school players before on Georgia Alabama Sports Live broadcast. How exciting do you get when we know they're going to play varsity the next year? You look at T.J. Woodson going from Richards now to Carver.
There we go.
Xavier Davies now at Northside. I mean, this is the first time I've gotten a close look at middle school football.
Right now, Calvary Christian, one of the best middle school shows on grass, is up 20-0 in this one, and it's danger zone time for Pacelli. They have to get at least a first down here. As Sam's Zavak, and that one's going to be bounced around and picking up the football. There goes Chris Smith.
Good job.
Smith still on his feet, and good field position for Pacelli. They'll start at the 45. They needed something positive to happen, and they got it there on that return, Richard.
Well, one, he recovered the football. Once he recovered the football, he had the self-awareness to turn up the field. I think that Calvary might have stopped and hesitated because they thought that he was maybe going to down the football because he was bobbling it, but he decides to just run with it, goes up the sideline, gives Pacelli great field position in Calvary territory.
1:21 remaining here in the first. It's all Calvary Christian on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And handing it off to Smith. Smith bounces to the outside. He's got some speed. But then ball comes out. And able to hop on it is Jameis O'Brien. And smart for O'Brien to have his wits about him to jump on that football. That would have been a disaster for Pacelli as they got nothing. They have negative yards on offense so far in this one.
Again, Calvary has proven why they are dominant in all three phases of the football game, and they have been undefeated all year, and their defense is just playing lights out. I mean, if their defense can get a stop here while Pacelli is in Calvary territory, this could be huge, as it's second down.
30 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Boogie Smith as he's going to tell Chris Harris to bounce to the outside. Boogie Smith takes a snap. He's going to throw it to Harris, and that one's going to be intercepted as King Hinton was back there waiting on it the whole time, and that's a turnover.
Yeah, that's the risk you take when you throw the football. There was nobody there, and Calvary safeties are just out there just playing center field, and a big turnover. Calvary gets the football back up 20-0. Probably got time for one more play before the end of the first quarter.
Correction. Dives on the 26, 27-yard line.
So Sebastian Hurd will start at the 26.5-yard line. In the backfield is Taylor. Hurd's going to throw another bomb. Hinton's going to catch the football, and there goes King Hinton to the 30, 25, 20, and pulled down, and that's going to be a horse collar.
Yep.
But how about that throw and catch to Hinton from Hurd. First and goal, Calvary, Richard.
Yeah, Hurd showing off his arm once again. It doesn't matter if they're deep in Pacelli territory, their own territory. He's able to get Hinton for the final play of the first quarter. But we've got to jog to the other side of the field because we're switching sides.
We're going to take a break. It's all Calvary on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live.
And this is my CVCC story. Class sizes were not too large. The professors in each class had time to talk. It was almost like a one-on-one experience. CVCC did prepare me for my career. They made sure you knew the subject before you walked out of the class, before you took the test. They dedicated 100% of themselves to it. I say for anybody who's deciding or thinking about going into criminal justice, CVCC has got my vote all day long because they're on top of their game.
Get your girls out this summer with Pepsi, the official beverage of Girls Night Out.
Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious food from Zaxby's. They're a proud sponsor of Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. And I can tell you that everyone on this team loves their chicken. Get all the favorites, such as their signature chicken sandwich, or try the new chicken finger tacos with your favorite drink. From amazing salads, wings, chicken fingers, and some of the best drinks around, there isn't a better way to enjoy our broadcast without getting some fantastic meals from Zaxby's. Check out the two here in Phoenix City, one off Crawford Road and the other on US 80. Thank you again to Zaxby's for sponsoring Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. And make sure you call them for all your catering and tailgating needs this football season.
We're back here on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live as Sebastian Hurd and the Knights take over first and goal. Handoff DT, who makes a man miss, does a spin move, and scores another Calvary Christian Knights touchdown. And Sebastian Hurd has been on full display, Richard. He has thrown excellent deep passes. He's ran for touchdowns. The offense with Taylor, with Hinton, Harris. I mean, there is a plethora of options in green and black.
We are witnessing, probably since I've been calling games in Columbus for about 3 years now, probably the most gifted quarterback I've ever seen.
In middle school.
At the middle school level, that is ready to play at the high school level. I think he would make an impact.
And there he goes right now,
team.
and look at him. He's just tall, athletic, and the man is only an 8th grader.
I mean, we could maybe compare him to, he's left-handed, maybe Michael Penix Jr.?
I'm not comparing him to anyone but Sebastian Hurd. And Calvary leads 28-0 in this one. All Knights in the first ever Chattahoochee Valley Private Middle School Championship on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holdress, Thrift Behringer. Richard made his second debut in as many shows on Sports Visions and as a contributor from Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Glad that he's a part of that. You heard me give him a pat on the back. He was excited to be on the lineup card for yesterday's show. And that one's going to be taken to about, from Third Hill, to about the 43. So first down and 10 for Pacelli. And right now Pacelli can't get anything going offensively.
By the way, Northside leads Cartersville 5-1 in the bottom of the second inning. They won the first game. They just need one more game, and they'll be playing at the South Commons in South Columbus. Trying to go for that three-peat.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. There was an injured Calvary Christian Knight who is up and about, as we have 4 receivers on one side, none on the other, as Boogie Smith's going to be back to throw. Now he's going to take off a run for the first time, and he gets slammed down.
Oh, boy.
That was a hard hit. I'm going to credit the tackle to Braylon Toney.
This is really a physical team that Calvary has.
Seems to be a short game. We'll bring it second down.
If you're watching on YouTube, all you got to do is click the subscribe button, man. And then you get to see every time we're live. Like yesterday, we did flag football. We had coaches show. Today, we had softball, Sweet 16. We have middle school championship. Tomorrow, we got flag football. We got coaches shows. We got CVCC show. We got Thursday night, Power at Madness, and we got Columbus and Spencer. Friday night, we got a doubleheader. I mean, why? You shouldn't have to be updated. All you got to do is subscribe, and you'll see when we go live every time, Rich.
Yeah, and we also have
oh, you subscribed?
Too. I've subscribed, yeah.
Handoff, Chris Harris. And Harris.
Takes it around the far side.
Maybe he gets half a yard.
Before he's wrapped up by hosted Knights. Bring a third down.
Michael Grant, who's been a long-time coach here at Calvary Christian, doing a great job with this middle school team, Rich. You're trying to win a championship. And they haven't never had a middle school championship before, so they're being able to win this year in the first ever Chattahoochee Valley private middle school championship would be awesome. Michael Grant's son, Aaron Grant, is a starting quarterback over at Shaw, who's done a great job as a junior this year. But Michael Grant was an excellent player in his own right. He's an incredible man, a great pastor. And, again, I just thoroughly enjoy talking to him and seeing what he's done, giving back to our youth. And right now, his Calvary Knights are up 28-0. Chris Smith, same thing, longtime president of Sally Little League, and also now the middle school coach at Pacelli. He's got a uphill climb. As Smith's going to take it, direct snap, and now he runs around. He reminds me a little of Kyler Murray, being small, wearing number 1.
Yeah. Got a big win on Monday Night Football against the Chargers last night.
Did get it to 4th and manageable, and obviously this is you got to go for it.
By the way, Central leading Pacelli in girls flag football 26-0 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Central is a different animal. They're the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah.
Not the state, not the Southeast, the country.
But the way that Pacelli played yesterday against Harris County, I think they're probably going to be the favorites to win the GIAA flag football championship again.
Yeah.
That'd be a 3-peat.
Back to back for Coach
Michaela
Cochran.
Hosley is just an incredible,
and you did a great
player.
job on the call. And by the way, Pacelli Vikings got a game, the varsity team, Westfield. And we're going to be partnering with Middle Georgia Sports Network.
There you go.
As Brett Taylor will be broadcasting and simulcasting on our platform this Friday as we get a timeout. So make sure to tune in. We're going to take a break. It's 28-0 Calvary on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
GMC SUVs. On sale now at Clint Smith GMC in Opelika. The GMC Terrain, the compact SUV with seating for 5. And now discounted up to $6,500 off. The full-size GMC Yukons, discounted up to $9,000 off. Choose from almost 200 new GMCs. Get your best price every day on the lot or online at clintsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
Hey, on the mountain we've got a saying. Get off your... Touchdown! Woo!
Mountain Dew.
My name.
48-yard line.
Good point.
About 5 to go.
Welcome back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I was saying Richard made a good point talking about how right now Pacelli needs this first down more than anything with 4:44 remaining and their team down 28. Smith, it seems like, and that's going to be a false start. And now 4th and 5 is not going to be 4th and 10. It's going to be a bat breaker.
Yeah, now they're forced to pass. At least on a 4th and 5, you could try to go for a run play. It's hard to do a run play.
Oh, they're going to say, I think they're going to say Calvary jump.
On Calvary?
Let's see. It is encroachment on Calvary, and that's going to be the first down of the game. Comes via penalty on the Calvary Knights football defense.
With signs of life, able to get a first down, and let's see if they can work with this.
So 1st down and 10. Pacelli gets a much-needed first down there, Richard. They need a touchdown desperately to even think about trying to get back in this game, as it has been all Calvary. And then you got to stop Calvary on offense, too, which is another daunting task. And Smith throws. And they're going to say he caught it?
He did.
And that's a great coach by David Mann.
Pass is complete for a gain of about 4 yards.
So a gain of 4 yards there, at least a complete pass, set up 2nd down and 6.
I do want to say, Thrift, I'm very impressed with the crowd here today from both fan bases, Pacelli and Calvary.
2nd down now. Smith takes the snap, looking, firing, and short. He was trying to find Landon Luke, and it looked like it may have even been tipped. 3rd down and 7 now for the Vikings. Calvary in all red. Excuse me. Calvary in the black pants, white jerseys, green helmets. Pacelli in all red. And Smith takes another snap, tall sweep to Chris Harris, and Chris Harris tackled in the backfield and finally taken down. Caden Concepcion gets a huge loss, and 4th and long now for those Vikings.
Great job by Caden Concepcion to get the stop for the tackle for a loss. And now it's going to be a 4th and long. And Pacelli has no choice but to go for it. But what play do you call here? You definitely want to try to maybe air it out, hope for a pass interference call.
So we'll see what Coach Smith, as he gives Boogie Smith the play.
And really, it wouldn't be a bad idea to air it out, because if it does get interception, it's like the equivalent of a punt. And you possibly have a chance for pass interference.
And Coach Smith
man.
needs a
backs him up
timeout.
5 yards. Oh,
Nope, timeout.
It is.
And we'll take 1-2. We'll be back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
CVCC story. I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in medical assistant, and I received my certification from CVCC. The training that I got from CVC and being prepared to come and do clinicals helped tremendously. I started looking at scholarships, and the ambassador scholarship was interesting to me because you did events to earn your scholarship and you meet people. I would recommend CVCC to anyone that asks because of the scholarships, the teachers, the small stuff that you can't get at a university.
All right, welcome back, everybody. As fourth down is going to be to Chris Smith, Chris Harris, and Chris Harris is not going to get anything. And I think he was trying to do reverse, but just nothing there. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. But one positive thing you see from Pacelli ended up turning into a negative, Richard.
Yeah, Calvary back out on offense with 2:28 left to go until the half. Hurd at this point in the game is just patting stats. I mean, he likes to throw the football. I think that they stick to the game plan of him airing it out, trying to get it to his big receivers.
Hurd in the gun.
Or he'll just
and
take
there goes Sebastian Hurd. Hurd still on his feet, and there goes Hurd. Get to the outside, still running, and now finally pushed out of bounds, but not before. Huge gain from Sebastian Hurd. There is a flag, though.
Yeah, it might come back because of holding, but we'll wait and see what the call is from the White Hats.
So Calvary gets the first down. That is, we reset the chain to first down.
So first down after the holding penalty. Hurd's going to get the ball out quickly. Fired wide open. And there goes King Hinton. Makes two people miss. And King Hinton are going to get another. Calvary Christian Knights. Touchdown. And Sebastian Hurd adds as it makes it now 34-0. Look here on the replay. Hurd, plenty of time, throws to a wide open. I mean, nobody was even guarding him there. And he just runs past two defenders for an easy 6.
Looks like
Calvary. Extra point is up and good. Oh, they went for 2 and it is good, and it's 36-0 now. Calvary on top. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this.
In just a minute, Calvary will prepare to kick it off.
Let's go! Woo! Woo! Yeah! Football time! Set the tone. Kyle, tie your shoes, tie your shoes. Yeah, good job. Woo! Yeah!
Grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild.
Glenn Smith Chevrolet is loaded with over 500 new and used on the lot.
We're back here as Torgar Isla is producing this. Torgar's living the dream right now as his Pittsburgh Steelers got a big win last night as that one goes out of bounds. And Richard, you heard Mike Tomlin said in the press conference, this is why I'm compensated. He made the move to bring in Wilson.
Russell Wilson's our guy.
So maybe trading for Devontae Adams doesn't change your culture and how bad you are as a team?
I tell you what, I was hoping the 49ers would have traded Brandon Ayuk to the Steelers now.
You're 3-4, Rich. This year's over with, and when I saw that picture of Shanahan and Purdy in the locker room, not a good sight.
I tell you what, Nick Wright is licking his chops because he is.
We don't say
Purdy
his
hater.
name on this broadcast.
All right, so you've called me out. I've mentioned Paul Feinbaum on your show, and you kind of went into me on that. I mean, look, we got to acknowledge other broadcasters, Thrift. Even if we don't like them.
Richard, you just got muted for even thinking about bringing up. I don't mind Feinbaum, but don't bring up Nick knows right. All right, first down and 10 now for Pacelli as they're down 36-0 here in the Chattahoochee Valley first annual private middle school championship. Boogie Smith's going to throw it up. Had a man running open and looped, but incomplete.
This looked like a little go route, but just a little off target.
And that one's going to be another loss, and the ball comes out. They're going to say incomplete.
Yeah.
Looks like an incomplete pass. They're going to bring up third down for the Vikings.
Bottom of the third inning, Northside leading Cartersville 5-1 in game 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that's Abby Lovell pitching the second game. Coach Carristory has got her number one pitcher trying to pitch them to the state championships. She's like, you know what? I'm going with my number one pitcher. She's going to pitch both game 1 and game 2. What a move by Coach Carristory.
Because of the way softball players pitch.
Because you don't play until October 30th.
And it's not bad on your arm either to pitch back-to-back games.
No, not at all. And plus, you don't play until October 30th.
Smith in the backfield is Jameis O'Brien. Smith looking, firing.
Oh, almost.
But King Kenton comes in and makes a great play.
It's going to bring up fourth down.
It's going to be fourth down.
I think Pacelli at this point is just trying to go to the half. Calvary wants to put up another touchdown before halftime. As this is the inaugural private middle school championship. We got quite a turnout here.
See if Smith can make a play. His team needs it desperately. Smith pump fakes, fires off the hands of Chris Harris.
That pump fake
may have been a touchdown. Great throw there from Smith.
That pump fake gave Harris a little bit of separation. That throw could have been on target. If it was on target, that could have been an easy touchdown for Harris. By the way, Columbus defeats Coachella Creek in 3 sets to reach the Final Four in volleyball.
How about that? Pass gets out quickly and actually goes through the hands. First incomplete pass for and now we got some extracurricular activities.
And I talked to Coach Mathis at Columbus earlier today. That's going to be at a neutral site. The Final Four and the championship is at a neutral site for the GHSA volleyball. It'll be up in Atlanta.
And they're going to have all setting penalties there. Second down and long now for Sebastian Hurd.
By the way, Harris County beats Cambridge 7-0 in game 1.
And Hurd's going to throw it over the head of King Hitt.
Now stretch arms to the receiver. We're going to bring up 3rd down 10.
As game 2 is underway. I wonder if Rick Beach from Kutsu Sports is either at that game or is he's definitely covering the game for Kutsu. And I've recognized some of the softball players on Harris County playing on the flag football team yesterday. So they're turning around and playing 2 sports in 2 days.
That's what we expect now. 3rd down, Hurd. Gonna throw it deep again, and this time, is it caught? It is.
It was underthrown, and he was able to get the catch.
Nice job coming back and getting it.
Excellent catch down there, young man. It's going to be up 1st and goal.
Was that Keen Hinton on the reception?
I believe that's Keen Hinton on the reception.
Jakari Harris on the reception.
Jakari Harris, there you go.
Thank you. That was Jakari Harris on the catch.
Could not see.
Could not see the number, but the parents in the stands know who.
Richard, you messed up the PA announcer because you just prematurely, as that one goes in and out of the hands. And I think that was Eric Grant, Coach Grant's son. Remember Eric Grant when he was a little nugget at Matthews?
Yeah.
Now he's a middle schooler. Hurd hands it off, running in for an easy touchdown.
The handoff to Cross for the touchdown.
And that was James Cross. And it's 42-0, Calvary.
So Thrift, I know you're a big basketball fan. Today's a very special night as it's opening night in the NBA.
And I can't believe I didn't even think about that, Richard. I am so pumped up, and we have an unsolicited hot take. I'm giving my NBA predictions. You know that's my favorite sport. It's Hurd.
Can't wait.
Has that one intercepted? No, incomplete.
I do want to say something. Bronny James makes the 15-man roster for the Lakers. Could we see history tonight? A father and son on the court in a regular season game.
We're going to take a break because Richard just said that. Here at Georgia, Alabama Sports.
Silverado 2500 HDs, discounted up to $9,000 off. And you'll love the stylish SUV that has plenty of room for the whole family. Chevy Tahoe's up to $9,000 off. Come to Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika for big discounts with a fantastic selection. Or explore anytime, anywhere at glennsmith.com.
Get ready to smile.
Come on, Thrift. You're always giving me
You talk about making history tonight, Richard.
You always do this. You always give me a hard time.
I have to, man. You talk about making history tonight. Calvary's trying to make history for the first ever Chattahoochee Valley private middle school championship on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. They lead this one 42-0. We're going to talk with the athletic director of Calvary, Steve Smith, at halftime. By the way, Northside looking like they're about to be going to the Elite Eight, Richard.
Yeah. They're up against Cartersville in game 2.
And there goes Chris Harris.
This could be it.
And Harris is finally going to get the Vikings on the board as he scores a touchdown.
Got a late flag. It might have been after the play. Is it coming back? All right, they're telling us up here that it looks like it's coming back. Got 25 seconds left to go, Thrift.
So we'll see what the penalty's on, but I'm assuming the way Pacelli's reacting right now that is going to be on them. And Chris Smith is just pleading with the officials, like, can you not just let us have one at this point?
So it looks like that block in the back is going to bring that.
Yeah, it's a block in the back. It's going to come back.
And I hate it for Chris because it was so far removed from the play.
Had nothing to do with the play.
Harris was so far ahead of everyone else. You hate to see stuff like that. But it was a block in the back, so now after the penalty, Pacelli will start at the Calvary 37-yard line. Smith gonna fire it up and intercepted. And there goes Tony. And that's Sha'Carri Harris, and Harris still on his feet. Harris still bringing it back. Harris makes a man miss, and Harris is gonna go all the way for a pick-6 touchdown. But guess what?
We got a flag.
I don't know if you know this or not, Richard. There's a flag.
Yeah. Another legal block in the back.
But what an incredible picks right there by Sha'Carri Harris.
You know what it reminded me of? Like when I was a kid, I used to watch this this cornerback safety for the Philadelphia Eagles named Eric Allen, who was every time he intercepted it, like we knew that Deion Sanders would do that, but Eric Allen would do the same exact thing. Would try to take it all the way to the house. He would stutter step. He would have spin moves. He would do everything he can to stay on the field.
So,
but that's the half.
And it's 42-0 as they're telling them to come back at this point. We'll see what the call is. And Pacelli's running off the field. So I'm wondering why Calvary's not allowed to run off the field. We'll see. So we're going to have holding. And so both penalties on Calvary there. The time's going to run out, and that's going to be the end of the half. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I'm going to.
This is my CVC. The professors in each class had time to talk. It was almost like a one-on-one experience. CVCC did prepare me for my career. They made sure you knew the subject before you walked out of the class, before you took the test. They dedicated 100% of themselves to it. It's safe for anybody who's deciding or thinking about going into criminal justice. Day long because they're on top of their game.
Get your grills out this summer with Pepsi, the official beverage of Girls Night Out.
Football is back, and the only thing that makes it better is some delicious
Welcome back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And I am with Steve Smith, the head baseball coach and athletic director of Calvary Christian. And, Coach, let's first talk about this. So I don't know who came up with the idea. Maybe you can allude to that, of the Chattahoochee Valley Middle School Private Championship that St. Luke, Brookstone, Calvary, and Pacelli are all in. What was the idea behind that? And obviously it's awesome. What went behind making a championship?
Yeah, so that was something that Coach Brunson had brought to me sometime last spring and asked if that was something that we would be interested in doing. And I said, absolutely. He got together with Brookstone, Pacelli, and St. Luke, and they kind of talked through it a little bit, and all 4 schools agreed that this was a good idea. And then obviously this is where we're at. So I think it's a great idea, just to be able to, again, showcase all of the private schools, the middle school programs that we have. They play each other all throughout the regular season, and then obviously to cap it off with a playoff at the end of the year is kind of cool. Yeah,
and right now Calvary leads 42-0. Coach, let's talk about some other sports that are happening here in the fall. We'll first start with volleyball, as they lose in the Sweet 16, but great first year in the GIAA, very competitive. Beat a team that made it to the state in Brookstone on the road. Talk about the volleyball coach and how her program did this year.
Yeah, I thought Mary Irvin did a really good job this year. Going to a new league, we actually had I think 3 more wins, or two or three more wins we had last year in gaps. You would have liked to have seen us make a little bit more of a run in the postseason. We were dealing with a lot of sickness in the volleyball team going into that first game, and it kind of showed itself. We did not play up to our ability, and then got upset in the first round. So something that we'll just we've got a strong core coming back. So we'll need to regroup and hopefully be able to make a strong run next year.
Jeff Halstead took over the program this year for softball. That's won back-to-back championships, Coach. And in the first year, I thought number 4 seed heading into the tournament, did a great job in a 4A classification. I was there all day on Saturday for the softball state championships. There is some elite talent. Tatnall Square has 3 or 4 girls that's going D1, and the fact that Calvary was one of those top 4 teams, one of the top 10 teams in the entire state, all classifications. Credit to Coach Halstead and his staff. Talk about the year they had this year.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job. I mean, you look at having 1 senior in Cameron Johnson and 1 sophomore in Kendall Gunn. You had no juniors, and then the rest of the team was all 8th and 9th graders.
Right.
So you knew you were up against a lot just from the experience side. But I thought they did a phenomenal job this year. I watched, I remember the first couple games of the year, and you could see kind of the inexperience. And I've talked to Coach Halstead several times, throughout the last couple of weeks, and I've just told him how impressed I was with the development of those girls and really putting some girls into positions that were not their normal or natural positions, but they rose to the occasion, and I thought, again, from the beginning of the season to the end of the season, 2 completely different teams, which bodes well for us going into next year. They finished 4th place in the in GIA, and really, again, you look at the schedule they had. They had the toughest strength of schedule inside 4A.
Yep.
Winning 12 games, winning a playoff game. What was really important to us was getting into the postseason, letting them get the experience, because, again, it's very different. You're not doing the 2 out of 3 like we were accustomed to in gaps.
Right.
You're going in and you're playing a 3-day tournament,
right,
which is a very, very different environment. It can be intimidating for a young team. You got all the teams all around. They're all going from field to field watching. So I thought that was a great representation for us, and again, a really good job. Getting it. And we're 1 play away from getting out of Game 3 and get an opportunity to play a little bit deeper into the into that tournament. So,
and Coach, I agree with you on that sentiment. And the thing is, 8th graders and freshmen make up this team. I was telling a lot of the parents, this is the team of the future the next 3 or 4 years. I promise you they're going to be recognized. Great season for Coach Halstead. Let's talk about the football program. I finished up last week against Strong Rock here. obviously not the year Coach Brunson, you, or anybody else here at Calvary wanted, but there were some positives to take from it. The learning curve is out of the way. You understand what is necessary to win in the GIAA. What are some of the things you took away as an AD to make sure next year is more successful?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the difference in GAPS versus GIA is the week after week and the physical nature of the game. Very, very different. He didn't have a chance to really breathe throughout the whole season. It was, strong team after strong team, week after week. And I think, for him, I think it helps give him an idea for preparedness for next year, the physical nature that we need to really make sure that we're prepared for going into the fall of 25. But there's some positive things that came out of this year, regardless of the record. And obviously, what you're seeing right now is you're seeing the future as well.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Coach, last thing. What's going on around the school? You had homecoming week last week. I saw you, Coach Gordon, were doing a bonfire. You had the homecoming dance. What's happening around the school? Anything you want to update the community about how great, Calvary is?
Yeah, so last week we had homecoming, which was great. I always get an opportunity to see alumni and families come back. I think that's always a great time to just reconnect with people. We also did our Powder Puff football game. It's something that Gwen Lewis really does a great job of coordinating. Juniors and seniors ended up beating the sophomores and freshmen, but it was a really good game. Ended up going into overtime, which was fun to watch, and then finished it off with a bonfire recognizing our homecoming court. So it was a really cool week last week. And then coming into this week, this is the last of our fall sports. We have cross country that's going to finish up at the end of this week. DJ Lewis came in first place in the region race. They're going to run again at the end of this week. Hopefully come away with a state title. But football obviously wrapping up tonight with what's been an extremely exciting season with our middle school football team. A lot of talent, as you can see right now, 42-0. But really, this is kind of what the theme has been all year with the middle school team. They're relentless. They're physical. They've got skilled players. It's really exciting to look at what the future of football is going to be like here at Calvary.
And I already know that the girls and boys basketball programs have already started. They're practicing, so we got basketball coming up. And, Coach, I'm going to say this now. If the score does hold up and Calvary wins this championship, Aaron Cohn of Muskogee County is pretty dominant over there. If they're able to win a championship, or whoever does, could we see a matchup of Calvary versus Muskogee County championship? Maybe we can make that happen. I'll talk to Jeff Battles. I'm talking to you right now. And, listen, we'll host it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
We would love to be able to do that. I think the timing, I don't know when their season ends. It's been talked about for the last couple of weeks, just with how strong they are and obviously how we've performed during our season. But there's a pretty substantial gap between there. Our guys are getting prepared for basketball. But we've said if there was a window to make it happen, we would absolutely be for that. I think a lot of people in the area would love to see that.
Coach, last question. Michael Grant. And I talked about this on the broadcast several times. This guy is one of the best men of young guys and girls, and he's given so much to Calvary Christian, but a lot of athletes around the community. What is it like to have someone like him on the staff?
He's incredible. The first day I took over as athletic director, he was the first meeting that I set up because I've always respected him from afar. I wanted to get his thoughts on things. I wanted to get his thoughts on where he thought we needed to make some changes in the direction of our athletic programs. But really, him being able to still be a part of the football program, you can see what he's doing with our middle school level. He just does such an incredible job. And like you said, it's not just the football side. Everyone knows, his resume and everything that he's done in the game. But the kind of man he is, he's a guy that takes it serious, discipling these young men. It's a blessing to have him on our campus every single day.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us, and look forward to talking to you real soon. It's Coach Steve Smith, the athletics director and head baseball coach of Calvary Christian.
I appreciate you guys doing this. Thank you so much.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll got more here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We're back here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Thank you to Steve Smith. Good guy, man. Love him. Love what he's doing for Calvary Christian, and he likes what he's seeing from his middle school team as they lead 42-0 here, Richard. What was that first half? Your thoughts on it?
My first half was complete domination by Calvary Middle School on all phases of the game. And Hurd is just a highlight. He's a playmaker. But I do want to say something about Coach Smith. I mean, he's been really good to us. I mean, I've had a relationship with him. Calling the Chattahoots. He was the manager of the Chattahoots, and I was very fortunate that I got to interview him before some of the Chattahoots games.
How long have you known him?
I've known him for a couple of years now.
I've known him for 32.
Wow.
I'm only 31.
Wow, that's amazing.
Come on, Rich. I was joking on that. Boogie Smith. Oh,
breaking it down.
Pass deflected there by Braylon Tony.
We crack jokes here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
I was told that they are going to have a running clock here in the second half unless there's a timeout. By the way, they are still going
Give
on.
the update, Richard.
At Northside. It's like 5 minutes from here.
You've been begging to give this update, man. Give the update. Is Northside about to go to the Elite Eight? South Commons.
Bottom of the fifth inning, Northside leading Cartersville 5-1. By the way, Trevor Lawrence went to Cartersville. Fun fact. And I was looking at the GHSA website. His passing stats obliterate pretty much any record in Georgia high school passing.
Handoff right here, man.
And another handoff that's going to be a negative gain, and another fourth down and long for the Vikings. Let's talk about Chris Smith. He took over in his first year. He's been at Pacelli for some time. He was an assistant coach for several years. He's been the longtime president of Sally Little League. This guy's done a great job getting Pacelli in the championship game. Obviously, Jay, they're going to come up short here today. But I feel like a lot of middle school teams would come up short against this Calvary Christian team. It doesn't take anything away from what Coach Smith has done in his first year as the head middle school coach and one of the elite assistants on the varsity team. Speaking of which, their varsity team has a big one against Westfield. If Pacelli beats Westfield, maybe they could shoot up in the 4A rankings. Right now, they're number 7. And I haven't even checked the updated rankings, Richard. I got to check them.
They did drop it because, remember, we have our GIAA scoreboard show on
which
Friday.
You can catch every Friday, 11 o'clock on GIAA.tv. I am your voice for all GIAA athletics. Called Softball State Championship last week, as that one's going to be blocked.
Again, that's the third blocked punt.
Somebody got his hands on it. Pacelli will down it. Calvary will take over.
Again, Calvary's going to have great field position.
1st and 10 for your Calvary Knights.
Oh, what a nice run.
And that one is Darius Taylor gets a good first down gain.
Yeah, good running play by DT, but it's going to be negated because there was a flag on the play. They're bringing it back. Holding against Calvary.
Holding against Calvary. Back them up 15 or so yards.
It's like we got our own personal spotters up here.
Yeah, we do.
To help us out with the holdings and stuff.
Well,
we need this every time we do a broadcast.
We have one of the officials that's running the game clock.
That's every game.
Yeah. So.
And there goes Taylor. And there he goes. DT. Running down the sideline. Makes a little wiggle move. What a wonderful, wonderful run.
Yeah, that little wiggle kind of fakes out the defense. It gives them an extra 10 yards. And you could tell they've got the running clock. We already got 2:15 left to go here in the third. Got a little bubble screen.
And still shedding tacklers, finally thrown down by Chris Ayers.
That was a lay hit out of bounds. I think the refs are just going to keep the flag in their pocket. He was in? Okay, that's hard to tell from way in.
And the clock is under 2 minutes here in the third quarter.
And last minute 45 here in the third. Sebastian Hurd looking, rolling, and finally going to be taken down for a sack. First sack of the game. And getting credit for that is Jameis, and I've been wanting to say this name for a minute, O'Brien. I like the last name O'Brien, man.
I like it.
O'Brien gets a sack as it's third down. Hurd. Oh, O'Brien. Hurd rolling out. Nobody's open. And there he makes a couple people miss.
Nice
and there goes Hurd. He runs over a man and just walks into the end zone for a touchdown. That was a grown man move.
It's a grown man playing football right there. It's Hurd.
Wait a minute, they called him out on the 1 yard line.
Oh, they're going to say he was out at the 1.
That was good enough for a Calvary first down. First and goal as the clock winds down.
First and goal
before the end of the quarter.
For Calvary. Hurd takes the snap, direct snap, rolling, touchdown.
Direct snap.
He's making it easy.
And you can see Coach Brunson, he's actually on the sideline right now and just thinking, man, what could have been. But in the GIAA, 8th graders are not allowed to play varsity.
Yeah. Otherwise, Hurd would be playing varsity.
But I will tell you, if there's an 8th grader that has the size to play varsity, it is Sebastian Hurd.
Hey, Thrift, we got to guess because
I know I invited
this guy,
him.
I have no idea. What a fantastic job singing the national anthem, Coach.
As I made mention, there's not a time that the not shy Jonathan Gordon will show off his vocal cords to make guys like me who has no rhythm, can't sing. He will show it off at any point in time. But joining us here on the broadcast, it's 50-0, is the head basketball coach of Calvary Christian. He just got done with Hell Week, and now he is trying to get ready for the season to start here in a few weeks. Jonathan Gordon, Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
For sure, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk about the basketball season. You had the fall league. You're starting to get your players back healthy. Right. How's this first week of practice been for your team, and how's this second week going?
This is actually the first week. We had our second day of practice today. So
last week was only just for conditioning.
Yeah,
last week
was strictly conditioning.
Gotcha.
GIA doesn't allow us to practice until October 21st, and we stick to that. So
that was literally yesterday.
Yeah. So we actually had our tryout at 6 a.m. We had practice that evening. So, but first 2 practices went really well, man. We're just kind of we use kind of summer league and fall league to our coaching staff used it just to kind of sit back and watch what guys can do, what they couldn't do. We didn't put in anything. We just kind of let them play free. And sometimes, it was hard to watch because it was ugly basketball at times, but we kind of let them play free so we can kind of how we're going to use them this year, what offenses we're going to run and things of that nature, as well as what defenses we're going to run. So we kind of just been taking what we learned from fall league and from summer league and implementing our plays, implementing our defenses, and just kind of seeing where we stack up.
Coach, talk about your staff. You got to have a good staff that's helped you get the guys ready for what should be a very eventful year here in your first season in the GIAA.
Right.
And that one's going to be down right at about the 29-yard line.
Yes, sir.
But, Coach, go ahead and talk about your coaching staff.
We got Wooten, Coach Wooten from he formerly coached at Columbus. He was a JV coach there. He brings a lot of defensive expertise that we really needed on our team, and just another guy that's high IQ that knows the game. His son was a great player at Columbus, really great passer, great defender, great leader at the point guard position. And so obviously he learned a lot of that from his dad. So just having another IQ guy on the bench definitely helps out. We also are bringing back Trevor Jefferson, who has been a great addition to our program, very supportive of what I do. He also does basketball training on the side, so he has just the ability to develop our players and their skills and everything of that nature. So, like you said, it's very important to have a strong staff, and I'm really, really happy with who we have this year.
Let's talk about this middle school football team, man. You were telling me, we talk on the phone a lot, and you kept saying this team is one of the best middle school teams you've ever seen.
Yes, sir.
Their team is up 50-0. Guys like Sebastian Hurd, King Hinton, Jakari Harris,
Braylon
Tony. I mean, DT.
Yeah.
These guys are elite. Michael Grant's team has done it. And, I mean, obviously, they're about to win a championship here, but talk about what it's like to have – are you going to have any of these guys on your team? Are they allowed to play varsity, or what's that looking like, Coach?
Oh, yeah. Well, 8th graders are allowed to play varsity. 7th graders are allowed to play JV. We have one of the best 7th graders in the city in James Cross here. He's going to play JV. I wish I could play him on varsity. He had a couple double-digit scoring games in the fall league. So,
wow.
But he's going to play JV for us this year. Sebastian Hurd, quarterback, he grew to about 6'2" now. So
it's huge.
Yeah, he's going to help out on the wing position in JV. Maybe varsity if he shows that he can do that. And even Jakari Harris, he's going to play. He's going to be out there playing basketball. And Braylon Tony as well. A lot of people think Braylon Tony's one of the biggest guys out. He's only 7th grade. He's about 6'1", about 180.
So the future is bright for multiple sports here at Calvary with this middle school group.
Absolutely. So I'm really excited about those guys coming up. And, man, I've enjoyed watching them. They've completely just dominated this league. I wish I could see them go up against Aaron Cone, man.
That's what I was just telling Steve Smith. That's the talk of the city is Aaron Cone versus Calvary, which probably not going to happen. But if it does,
it'll be fun to do, man.
If it does,
y'all better be there.
You know, Georgia Alabama Sports Live is going to be there.
Better be there, yeah.
All right, Coach. Talk about when your season starts. When's the first game? When can everybody come out and show support for the Knights men's and women's basketball team? Hold on one second. Boogie Smith takes a snap. He's looking. He's firing, and that's going to be in and out of the hands. Second time it's hit Garris in the hands. He may have scored there. But when does the season start, Coach?
November 4th, we have a scrimmage against the Grange Academy here at Calvary. But the first game of the season is November 19th, 7:30 against Harris County.
Can't wait. And guess what?
Sir.
It's going to be on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Why would it not?
Of course it is.
We're going to get it on GAS Live. Well, his name is Jonathan Gordon. Thank you so much, Coach. Go out there and sing your heart out and make everyone else feel bad that they can't sing. And we'll see you during the basketball season, man.
I just do it for the school, man. I love this school. I love this environment. So I try to do different things for you, man, to show my appreciation. So I appreciate it, brother.
Boogie Smith's going to get a first down. Thank you, Coach Jonathan Gordon. And we're going to bring back on Richard Holdridge now. And again, you can see Coach Jonathan Gordon and Coach Norton, who is the headmaster of the head of school, at the basketball media day. Basketball media day, November the 3rd at the Beck Center.
We'll be
Georgia,
there.
Alabama Sports Live. It's Georgia, it's Alabama. We're watching sports and we're live as that's going to be taken down. Boogie Smith.
By the way, you mentioned Calvary Athletics. A big shout out to the volleyball players who made all region and all state. Madeline Gaps, Abigail Holder, and Abigail Steffens. Congratulations. Calvary's volleyball season did not turn out the way they wanted. They did lose in the first round of the GIAA playoffs, but they had a very successful season. Under Coach Mary Irving.
Lost in the Sweet 16. Man in motion, and here comes Hill. Hill's going to bounce it to the outside and taken down. Third down.
Also, the Calvary softball season came to an end over the weekend.
Yep, we talked about that with Steve Smith.
They lost
finished, and they were finished as the number 4 team in 4A.
Yep.
And they returned majority of their team. Only one senior,
couple
sophomores, and the rest are 8th graders and freshmen. So this team is going to have a lot of talent in the next couple of years. Coach Hall says done a great job with that program.
I mean, I thought it was great that they got to represent Columbus here in the city. Like, they did lose that first game to First Presbyterian Day. They were able to defeat Loganville Christian in the elimination game, and then they got to play, the next day, and they ended up losing to Strong Rock, which was a very tough team. Tatnall ended up winning the whole thing.
Boogie Smith is going to take off and run.
He's got a lane.
And he's got a lane. Runs past the man. Gets a first down. Spins.
Good play.
And right at the first down marker to bring up 4th down and short.
That was a good play, but we've got a running clock with 3 minutes to go. Pacelli just wants to make it formidable. They want to just try to get some points here. They've had a fantastic season as well.
Smith. 4th and short with Harris in the backfield. And we're going to take a timeout. 2 minutes remaining here in the first ever Chattahoochee Valley Private Middle School Championship on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And big run there for Pacelli to get a first down. And they're going to try to score a touchdown here before this one's over, so they don't feel like they got shut out.
The clock will wind down just under 2 minutes here.
Smith going to do another direct snap. Got blocking in front of him, and there goes Boogie Smith. Makes a couple people miss, and Boogie gets another Pacelli first down. Last minute of this one. Smith
50 seconds and change to go.
firing it, intercepted. And that's going to be the ball game. Smith was trying to make a play. I know he's pretty dejected, wanted to get in there for the end zone, but Calvary's going to end it 50-0, and they're going to finish their dominant 2024 middle school season with a 50-0 championship win over the Pacelli Vikings. Excellent year for these Calvary Christian Knights. Nothing to hold your head down. This was just an excellent team from Calvary, but Pacelli making the championship game in this first year. Coach Smith should be proud, and we may see these two teams again next year. But this night belonged to the Knights, and the Alex Quinney All-State Good Hands player of the game is Sebastian Hurd. As the fireworks go off, as you can see them celebrating a championship. What a year. Coach Michael Grant should be proud of his team. Well, thank you to Richard Holdridge. Thank you to Steve Smith, Jonathan Gordon, and everyone here at Calvary. Great season for both these teams, but the champion are the Knights. Remember to tune in tomorrow as we have flag football. We got the Pacelli Coaches Show and CVCC Coaches Show, plus office hours, all on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. From Thrift Barron, I'm going to say goodnight, and we'll see you next time here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.